So Apple is really shaking things up in the world of professional monitors. A true legend of a display is heading into retirement, but its successor is here and it's looking pretty powerful. We're going to break down exactly what's changing, what's new, and what it all means for all you creative pros out there.
And this headline from PC Mag just nails it. This isn't just some minor product refresh. No, this is a story of succession, a real changing of the guard in Apple's high-end display lineup.
That's right. The Apple Pro Display XDR, which has been the benchmark for pro creators since it first came out, is officially being replaced. It's really the end of an era for a monitor that for years basically defined what a high-end creative workspace looked like.
And that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? With such massive shoes to fill, what has Apple cooked up to take its place? Before we meet the new contender, let's take a quick look back at the outgoing champion.
Okay, first up, the legend itself, the Apple Pro Display XDR. To really appreciate the new display, you have to understand what made this one so groundbreaking, and yeah, what also made it so controversial.
When this thing launched, it was an absolute beast, a huge 32-inch 6K panel that PC Mag called a fabulously capable reference monitor. I mean, this was built for the elite, the top-tier video editors, photographers, and animators who needed perfect reference-grade color, but that capability came with a pretty big catch.
And here is part one of that catch. The starting price was just shy of $5,000. I mean, that's a price tag that's just way out there, putting it out of reach for almost everyone except for the biggest studios or the most successful creatives.
And this is the part that really became infamous. The monitor didn't even come with a stand. You had to buy the Pro stand separately, and it cost an extra $1,000. That move became a legend for all the wrong reasons, and pushed the total price into truly astronomical territory.
All right, so now let's shift gears and meet the new challenger, the Apple Studio Display XDR, and see how it tackles those old problems while bringing a ton of new tech to the party.
Okay, here's the head-to-head. Now, right off the bat, you'll notice the new display is a smaller 27-inch panel, and it drops from 6K to 5K. But look at everywhere else it pulls ahead. It's brighter, it uses way more advanced mini-LED tech, it has double the refresh rate for super smooth motion, it's a lot cheaper, and, oh yeah, the stand is included.
Let's really drill down on the price, because this is a huge win. The new Studio Display XDR starts at $3,299. Now, that's still a serious investment, but it's what PC Mag calls a more palatable price. And the crucial part? A really nice height and tilt adjustable stand comes right in the box. No $1,000 surprises this time.
But it's not just about the stand. The new display is just packed with features the old one completely ignored. With the Pro Display XDR, Apple just assumed pros had their own webcams and speakers. This new one, though, comes with an integrated 12-megapixel center stage webcam and an amazing 6-speaker sound system with spatial audio. It's basically a full studio in a box.
And the connectivity? It gets a massive upgrade. We're jumping from an old Thunderbolt 3 port to the much more capable Thunderbolt 5. This gives you 140 watts of power delivery. That's enough to charge even the beastly 16-inch MacBook Pro at full speed. Plus, you get a downstream Thunderbolt 5 port for daisy-chaining other high-speed gear. It's a huge step up.
So, the spec sheet is definitely impressive, but what's the actual technology that makes all of this possible? Let's pop the hood and see what's really making this new panel shine. The secret weapon here, without a doubt, is Mini LED. This is a quantum leap forward from the old IPS panel in the Pro Display XDR. Instead of one big uniform backlight, Mini LED uses thousands of incredibly small LEDs that can be controlled individually. And this image from Apple's own white paper gives you a little peek at just how complex this system is. You've got the Mini LED backlash, a quantum dot film for amazing color, and the LCD panel itself. And the whole thing is run by a new custom timing controller, a T-Con, that makes sure every single one of those layers works in perfect harmony.
So what does all that fancy tech get you? It gets you this number: 2,304 individual local dimming zones. For perspective, that is 4 times as many as the old Pro Display XDR had. And that insane level of precision is what creates that stunning 1,000,000:1 contrast ratio, letting you see brilliant, bright highlights right next to truly inky blacks. But to really get the full picture of Apple's new strategy, we can't just look at the new XDR in a vacuum. It didn't arrive alone. We also need to see how it stacks up against the updated standard Studio display that's also coming in 2026.
Now, this comparison right here really spells out Apple's new two-tiered game plan. For about half the price, the standard Studio Display is still a fantastic 5K screen. But you can see the trade-offs. It's a standard IPS panel, it's not nearly as bright, it's stuck at a 60 Hz refresh rate, and you lose that incredible XDR contrast. The XDR is for the absolute pro, while the standard model is now aimed squarely at the mainstream creator.
So what does this mean for you? Well, it really helps you figure out where you fit. If you're a colorist, a high-end video editor, someone whose entire job lives and dies by perfect color and contrast, the XDR is a no-brainer. But if you're an artist, a student, or you just want a truly excellent premium display for your Mac, that standard Studio Display is a really, really compelling choice now.
Okay, let's bring it all home. What's the final takeaway on this new display dynasty that Apple is building?
You know, PC Mac's conclusion really just says it all. The Pro Display XDR was this groundbreaking but ultimately flawed legend. The new Studio Display XDR is just plain smarter. It's more modern, it's packed with more useful features, and it's a better product in almost every single way that actually matters for today's creative work. And maybe most importantly, it's a more accessible buy.
And this whole shift from Apple really gets you thinking. For so many years, the cost of a true professional-grade monitor was a massive barrier for so many creators. Now that this level of technology is finally becoming more attainable, it leaves you with a really fascinating question. What's the next big hurdle for creators to overcome?